or
So
something?
yeah, I had more than 12 bookings.
More
I
than
had
12.
18 bookings.
Eight on the
Yeah,
first one.
yeah, on the
Okay,
first one. I had 18 bookings.
18 bookings. And then how many
Yeah.
appointments did you get from that one?
So that one I've exceeded 25.
25 appointments.
I would say that it's the top right now. It definitely is. It already positions me in a position of leadership, instant credibility. I'm so busy that I had to hire a VA just so that I could manage my pipeline. You should just dive straight into it. Again, you're getting put in a position where you have an audience brought to you and in the comfort of your home. I'm in my living room, man. This is where my calls were at.
So I'm here today with my client, Efrain Reyes. Efrain joined me recently and he's been having hot success with our webinar system here at launchwebinars.io. Efrain, how are you, my man?
Man, I'm doing fantastic, busy, and this is the time to be busy at the beginning of the year.
So Efrain, give me some background, like of you as an agent and where you're based and what you've tried before. Give me some understanding here and the people as well.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Look, man, the question is, it'll be, I'll save you time. What didn't I try, right? So I've tried everything. I've been in the business, come this spring, it'll be 9 years, right? And for some time, I've been off of real estate.
Right.
I had to go back to W-2. That I won't get into all of that, but it had nothing to do with success or lack thereof in real estate. But in doing so, at one point, I was doing like 24 transactions a year and doing it semi-passively using social media. It was great.
Yeah.
And it works, right? But it was unpredictable, right?
So what was that? Like Instagram videos, YouTube, like what were you doing there?
Instagram videos, Facebook, YouTube. You can probably find my YouTube right now. I'm still doing business on old videos.
There you go.
Yeah. Still doing business on old videos, and I look like an entirely different person then. But there was a lack of consistency and predictability with that. Though free, right? It's just time consuming with editing, up and down. It was just real tough. But yeah, I've tried mailing, cold calling, door knocking, all of the above, man.
Yeah, 100%. And where would you, like, obviously we're still very early and you've only run 2 webinars. I think on the first, I'm going to spill some numbers off the top of my head here. But on the first webinar, you had like, I want to say 60 attendees or something like that. And then maybe like, what was it, 12 bookings?
So, yeah, I had more than 12 bookings. I had 18 bookings.
On the first one?
Yeah, on the first one. I had 18 bookings.
18 bookings. Okay, awesome. So that was a crazy off the blocks win. And then the second webinar you ran 2 weeks later, I think you had to upgrade your Zoom account because they had 99 was the limit of people trying to get in, of buyers in your area looking to get more information on their home in Yonkers, New York. And then how many appointments did you get from that one?
So that one I've exceeded 25.
25 appointments. Wow, that's mind-boggling. And how much did you spend on ads for each of these ones?
So on each, again, partnering and strategically partnering with vendors that I do business with. Right. I've only in 2 webinars, $750. I almost said $1,000. $750.
So that's $750 for the last one. At 25 appointments is, I'm pretty sure, like $30 cost per appointment. With a buyer who has listened to you for an hour, they're interested in taking the next step, and they already like, know, and trust you because they've sat there and listened to you for an hour, obviously talking about the next steps for them, which is pretty crazy at $30 cost per appointment. I mean, I don't think there's many systems out there where you can do that with. Where does webinars rank in your kind of hierarchy of lead generation for you right now? I know we're early days. I know we're very early days.
Right now, I would say that it's the top right now. It definitely is. It already positions me in a position of leadership, instant credibility, and especially when you have the audience that is asking questions and you're answering questions in real time. Yeah. The authority positioning is unlike anything I've ever experienced, for sure.
Right. And where did you feel that? Was it in the webinar? Was it after the webinar and the appointments? kind of just speaking, communicating with these potential buyers, or?
Yeah, so during and after. So it's like so during that communication aspect, then on appointments that they booked,
Yeah.
and then also having them follow me on social media, and conversations are still happening, right? So they're seeing passively, even if they're not ready, they're dipping their toes in the water, they're just trying to feel it out and figure it out. They're seeing the credibility just from my social media and the content that I put out to support this. It's been instrumental.
100%. And that's the special bit, is you yourself as an agent, as a lot of agents do, you're already posting content, right? So what has it been like when you add webinars into that mix of content? Obviously you're already a persona in a way online. How has that helped with like the kind of credibility, as you mentioned, and maybe other things that I'm not aware of?
Man, the dynamic has shifted. Even people who have been following me for years.
Right.
People who have been following me for years that haven't even spoken a word are now engaging because of the webinars, because awesome. I'm cross promoting. Yeah. And then the people that are on the webinars are now getting on my social media. And it's just this like power grab on both sides of the spectrum that it's unlike anything I've experienced. So in fact, actually my social media, I don't even have a big social media following. Not this one, not this account, but I've grown almost 300 followers over the last month.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean,
that are all buyer based.
Potential buyer,
you know,
100%.
Yeah.
And have you had any like inbound leads, like people who have not come from the paid traffic, like message you about looking to do something, like on your social media?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So you've had inbound leads as well.
Yep. Inbound. In addition to booked. And reusing and recycling the booking links from the webinars. Yeah. It's been right at my disposal. It's been getting traffic, and man, that's why I'm sorry I couldn't get this. I know we had a call scheduled and I couldn't make it because I had to fulfill appointments, man.
That's the problem I like to have my clients have, you know. That's the W in my book. You go and do the business first. That's what makes sense.
Yeah.
And for the appointments wise, how have like some of the appointments gone? Because obviously I know a lot of agents have bought appointments or tried systems in the past. There's people they're speaking with, but they're incredibly unqualified, or they really have no intention of like doing something, or there's no real trust there. They're just, you know, dipping their toe in the water, tire kickers as we like to call them. How have your appointments been so far? Obviously, you've had a real mass of appointments, so you'd imagine that the quality would be a little bit lower. Give me some insight on that one.
Well, hey man, on my first run of appointment bookings from the first webinar, I've sent five potential buyers to my lenders. Awesome. Right. On my second, I've sent 6 potential buyers. Right. Awesome. And the people that had been on those calls that didn't get sent to my lender, it wasn't necessarily that they weren't interested or anything. Right. It's just that there was probably a condition, right? So whether it was credit or maybe they needed more assistance or more time, or maybe they were in the middle of a transition but just needed some insight and furthering the whole position aspect of you being an expert, being able to strategically guide them to the next step and letting them know, look, I'm optimistic that I'm going to keep them in my funnel, right? And they're in my database, right? I've got drip campaigns going. Yeah. And I've got scheduled systems to follow up with these people and check in. But just like in the past, when I didn't have a system like this to begin with, I've done business with people that I first consulted 6 years before we even did a deal, right? Thing happens, man. So it's like now I have multiple people that are put into that category or in that part of the funnel.
Yeah, 100%. And good agents, they know how powerful that long-term follow-up is, like yourself, which makes me happy, because when I speak to an agent, they tell me they haven't even spoke to the pipeline. I'm thinking, oh God, you know, they're throwing the money away. But what you haven't felt yet, and what has been really powerful and instrumental for other agents, for example, Cliff, is like over time when you do it for 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 months, these people who have, you know, they need credit repair, down payment assistance, they're moving away, they're ill, you know, like people go through life just lifes you, you know, sometimes. But these people, because you want to educate them all that time back, they don't forget. They really don't. And that's like, it's like a professor in college. Like they don't forget this, which is crazy to me. And they still convert. And that's when it really starts to add up and you start to hit these big months, is when people you spoke to 4, 5, 6, 7 months ago, they're now ready to go. And like, it all just starts to kick off in 1 month, you know, in the summer sometime. You're like, holy shit. Like this, I don't even know these people are going to come back. So yeah, that's a pretty cool part.
When that pipeline starts to mature, right? So,
100%.
and that's what it is. It's about getting people to mature, and then we're planting the seeds, and when it's time, it's time.
And how have you felt like delivering the webinar itself? Because this is obviously a new thing. Now you do have some background in education and teaching and that kind of thing, which obviously I assume has helped, but it's still something completely different. It's still a tech aspect. And you know, you're launching webinars, not just clicking a button. So how has that process been? Has it been easy working with us, and like hosting the webinar itself? What was that process like for you?
Again, nerve-wracking for sure. The first time I had your guys' support like crazy. You guys were on the tech. It was like a well-oiled machine, excuse me. But the second time, I completely botched it, right? I botched it. I was there swimming on my own. Botched it. I was muted at some point because I'm toying around with the Zoom and whatnot, and the account, not knowing how to get other people that were in the wait list get in. It was extremely brutal, right? But I got through it, and getting through it, still I had over 25 bookings.
Right.
That's nuts, man. And sending 6 to my lender and more that I have in the pipeline. But I can't say that it's been the worst thing that I've ever done.
Definitely not. I mean,
and I'm not a tech guy. So
you saying you botched it, for the people at home, you saying you botched it, you still did pretty good. Like I know agents that have hosted their webinar, 5 minutes in, they're speaking with their lender, not realizing there's 20 people in the room, and they just go on for 5 minutes. And even then, he still got like 5 bookings from that, you know, and he still botched it. So even just showing up and connecting with people and being a real person, just being yourself, like, you don't create a whole persona on camera, you're still the same, you know, and you just build that relationship. You know, you can be anyone at that point and still, like, I believe you can be anyone and still convert with webinars, because it's just about being personable and being yourself, you know?
Yeah, so. and on that call, man, like, and not getting flustered and just falling on the sword, you know, just admitting where you're having technical difficulties. People give you grace, man.
Just be human.
And they stayed on the call. I had 100 people on the call. So they didn't leave. And they stayed on the call. And again, the plan was an hour. It went for an hour and 25.
Yeah.
And they stayed on, man.
What system can you have where you have 100 plus people in your local area in the next 15-mile radius from you who are interested in buying a house? I mean, and you're just speaking to many, rather than having like a one-to-one with 100 different people to shift through them, and you know, you need AI and it just becomes a whole mess. And you're just building that like, know, and trust. I mean, yeah, in terms of that and leveraging your time as a busy agent, that's really, I think, where webinars like takes you up a level, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And also, like, what if I were to do this in person? All right, I know that those seminars and have happened all the time. Those home buying seminars and sessions in real physical places, right? Where you're having to cover the cost of whatever venue. You've got to get food. You've got to get drinks. Man, on this webinar. Everybody is equipped where they're at. Right? They're meeting you where they're at. I had people at home. I had people at work, in the car, right? And this was on a Tuesday and Thursday night. Yeah. They were giving me their time and attention, man. And they were engaging.
Yeah, 100%. That's the beauty of it. You know, we're in this new digital age, and it's time to take advantage. So that's what it's all about. And how's your pipeline been? Like, how, obviously, there's a lot of conversations, 25, it's almost like, it's like 45 conversations plus the inbound ones. It's going to be like 55, 60 conversations. How has it been in terms of like your pipeline and the activeness and your time schedule? How's that all been looking since you started?
It's been real busy, and staying organized is really important. And man, I haven't closed, and full disclaimer, guys, like I didn't close on a deal yet, right? It's only a month since I joined with the group, with the organization, and but I'm on appointments. I'm actively on appointments from people that were on this call, right? I'm so busy that I had to hire a VA just so that I could manage my pipeline and make sure that I'm getting those conversations. I'm getting people the communications with the lenders and the follow-ups and things like such. Leveraging the CRM, of course, just to keep organized. But even without closing a deal, I had to hire a VA.
That makes me happy. The fact that you have to, get some team on to even deal with the mass. Obviously, it still needs to be qualified, right? Which it sounds like it's been decent quality. We're going to start upping that now as we run more webinars and getting those more qualified buyers in. Looking for bigger houses, more commission for you, more wins. But yeah, being able to have a VA to help you manage your time to deal with the shit that you don't want to deal with. That's a blessing in itself, really. So that's very good to hear.
And for sure, and also, and Fred, also, I've had already people that I've referred out that are not my typical client because either distance and price point and whatnot. Even the clients that I'm actively working with right now, they're over an hour away. We're looking at homes. I normally would refer that out, but they asked to be with me personally, so I'm keeping that. But having the ability to leverage that out while still doing all the other business I was doing to begin with is a home run, dude.
And the one you leveraged out, I think you mentioned to me that, these are not like, janitors. Like, for example, that person, she was a school principal. Did you mention?
Yep, that's a high school principal,
High school principal, so she makes decent money. Her husband also, I think, makes decent money. So these are like serious contenders. They're just not necessarily closing in 20 days flat. Now, that in some cases that does happen, which is awesome when we see that. If someone's in like a case where they need to do something like a divorce situation or something where it's like urgent, okay, let's get it gone. But for the rest of them, I honestly believe for your pipeline especially, and the way your ads and your market performed and the way you were on the webinar, it's only a matter of time until you're going to get a disgusting amount of closes. Like everyone's just going to go left. I think it's going to build up, and then one month you're going to get 4, maybe next month, the one after, whatever it is, and you're just going to get 4 closes in 1 month, and it's going to go crazy. And it's going to be the best month in a long time. That's my prediction. So
and it's an accurate prediction because it's happened in the past without the scale, right? And this is happening at scale a lot faster. Getting people in that pipeline, a number of them, whereas it was kind of one-off and things like such, and then there's a couple of years pop up and all of a sudden you got a deal. But now I'm putting more than several, all in one shot.
Yeah.
So off of 2 webinars, man.
There you go. And that's the beauty of webinars is once we see those closings come in, we're going to be upping the ad spend. I'm talking 1.5K, 2K per webinar. We increase the area a little bit and we increase the messaging and get some more qualified buyers on there. And we're going to just take this to the moon. And we can even refer some of the deals out. And it's going to be crazy. Yeah. I can't wait. Yeah. That's what I'm excited for. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and working with you so far has been awesome. So we appreciate you having here, being with us at Launch Webinars. And I guess my final question before we depart here is what would you say to agents? Like, you've tried lots of systems, lots of agents have tried lots of systems. There's so much crap out there and bad ones on the market. What would you say to agents who are maybe like on the fence thinking I've been burned in the past, or, I'll probably just wait and see, maybe 2027, what has that got to see what's got for me? Like, what do you say to those kind of agents who are, maybe thinking about it, they're hearing this, it sounds good on paper, but they're still stuck in their tracks?
Yeah, man, you should just dive straight into it. Again, you're getting put in a position where you have an audience brought to you. and in the comfort of your home. I'm in my living room, man. This is where my calls were at.
That's where you hosted the webinar?
And
You're right
yeah,
there?
man, right here.
I love
And
it. I love it.
there's nothing better than that. And just having that comfort of home and home court advantage, man. I was feeling like
There you
LeBron
go.
James, man. So
I love the reference.
but
There you go.
yeah. But there's haven't been anything like it that again positions you as the authority figure, instant credibility moment right there, and especially if you have strategic partners that are on that call with you, it speaks to the fact that you're in the business. And you know what? Maybe you're not. Maybe you're just fresh out of getting your license, right? But if you're anyone that gets their license, you're going to be contacted by so many different vendors that have something to do with the real estate transaction that you should leverage those relationships because they're instantly calling you and emailing you. You're going to get spam text messages of like lenders available this weekend to qualify your buyers. Hey, before we do any of that, ask them to cough up that cash and partner up, man.
There you go.
So this doesn't have to be an investment alone.
That's what you did with your preferred lender.
My preferred lenders, two different lenders.
I love that. So yeah, that's what, agents don't realize, that they can work tactically, and use the pieces around them who are going to benefit anyway,
Yeah.
So I think that's super powerful. And do you feel like you could have ran these webinars to the success you've had them alone, or like, do you feel like, having something that's ready-made done for you was just made it easy for you?
So the short answer is, I could have run that alone, right? But all the time that it would have taken for me to learn the meta ads and get meta certified and all of these other things, that's not real estate, right? That's not real estate. So it's not getting me any closer to getting in front of potential clients. So being able to lean on you guys to do all of the nerdy stuff, it's been awesome. Because you guys brought the attention to my doorstep, leveraging your skill set and allowing me to do what I do best, right? And it's talk about real estate to a crowd of people.
That's it. We try and make it as easy as possible. Obviously, you're the expert at the end of the day. You know what you're doing when you're face to face with them. So we just try and extrapolate that out. We give you the CRM. We do the done for you ads. We drive the traffic to there. We qualify potential buyers. We give you the slides and you just customize it to your market. And then you're basically ready to go. So now it's just about increasing, narrowing down the real audience of people with the right amount of credit score, finances, when they're looking to move, just dialing that in a little bit more, and then I think it's going to be a cash cow. So I'm excited.
Yeah, same here, man. Same here. I can't wait.
Sounds good, Efrain. Well, I appreciate you spending your time with us today, and yeah, man, we'll catch up very soon.
See you.